Hi warriors, Hannah here and welcome back to another video. Today I just wanted to have a little chat because I prepared myself a nice little snack and was reading through some of my comments when I stumbled across one that I just really wanted to address. Basically, I recently uploaded a video about my horrible psychiatric inpatient experience and I got a question about what I thought helped me in hospital, what I found helpful in terms of my recovery. And after bashing hospital, I think it's really important to talk about some of the pros. I definitely do not want to scare you guys away. And I think for me, my hospitalization saved my life. So just a little informal chat. I made myself a crumpet with peanut butter and banana. Obviously the best thing to have while you're having a chat because it's going to stick my mouth together, but we're going to roll with it. The pros of hospitalization. In Hungary and Slovakia, it's pretty straightforward because hospitalization saved my life. I was in a very critical state and I needed to be monitored. So the first time I went into hospital, it was in the intensive care unit. They checked all my vital signs, they got me filled up with all sorts of fluids and things, and they kept me alive. My second hospitalization in Hungary was just an inpatient stay so that I gained weight, and in and of itself, gaining weight is a massive pro of hospitalization because if you can gain weight fast during recovery, that means you'll get back to your old life, to your food freedom, to your happiness much faster. And that is so important to get your life back. What I also really appreciated in my hospitalizations was being able to give up control because I really wanted to have control over everything and it wasn't healthy. Now that I could give up control over my food, I was finally able to focus on other things. So I could focus on my writing again. I could focus on mindfulness without having food on my mind 24/7 because I knew my food was taken care of. All I had to do is eat what I was given. I didn't have to think about my food or my weight or anything else because I put that all in someone else's hands. The third biggest pro of hospitalization for me in Belgium, I guess, was meeting people who were in the same boat as me. This is what I was lacking a little bit in the psychiatric wards because there's obviously all sorts of mental health issues and psychiatric wards that I was in were in Hungary and in Slovakia, so people spoke a different language. However, when in Belgium, I could actually communicate with people and we really built each other up a lot of the time. I am definitely one to motivate others, and whilst I was motivating others, I told myself, well, you're motivating them, so you're going to have to step up your game. You can't let it slip, you can't be a bad role model. And that in and of itself really motivated me to keep going, to eat and to leave the eating disorder behind. It also meant that if I was struggling with anything, I could talk to them and just get it off my chest, which was super useful. In terms of the food, in Belgium I definitely really liked the food, so that was good, and it obviously helped me to gain weight, which also changed my mindset, which was crucial. Even just the fact of eating more established a newer, healthier routine that I then held on to when I went home, continuing the recovery process. However, this is also a bit of a danger because many people, when they return home, then start restricting again because they think, oh, it's too much food, I can't do that at home, and then they lose weight again. It's really important to, once you leave hospital, really take responsibility and hold on to that new routine because it's there for a reason. It's set up by experts and it's so important to keep following that and to keep focusing on your recovery even after you leave. In terms of what we ate as well, in Belgium I think it was really good that we all had slightly different meal plans. So there was the standard that everyone had as soon as they came in. But then if you weren't gaining sufficient amount of weight, your meal plan increased. So your main meal sort of doubled in size and it was quite scary, especially when other people weren't eating that much, but it really took into consideration different needs, which wasn't necessarily the case in Slovakia, where I personally went onto the largest meal plan, and then they said they couldn't provide any more, even though it wasn't sufficient. In addition to all of this, there's perks to gaining weight, so that keeps you motivated. For example, in Belgium, you got to sit at a different table where you got to decide your own meals. You were able to join sports after you reached a BMI of 18, and there was just loads of other perks which, yeah, were just very motivating. However, there were also some reprimands if you didn't reach the weight, which I didn't necessarily like that much because I was never on the weight that they wanted me to be at. I had to stay in pretty much every single weekend, and I sort of felt unjustly punished because of that. And this just made me a bit resentful. Definitely the perks, they were a good motivation. As I mentioned, I really appreciated being able to talk with all the other people there, but I also really appreciated being able to talk to experts. We had a lot to do during the day, lots of activities, but also lots of time to approach the nurses, for example. And there was also a night bell, so if at night you were feeling very anxious or had certain thoughts, there was still help available, and it was really comforting to know that there was always someone there. One time at night, actually, I must have been half asleep. I rang the bell, and one of the night nurses just rushed right in, and I was just very confused mainly. In addition to the therapy activities, there was also mirror exercises, so you'd all stand in front of the mirror in different little cubicles, staring at yourself in your underwear, and I didn't really like it at the time, but it did help me look at my body more realistically. There's also activities such as art, which really helped me get lost in the activity and do things I enjoyed and find my passions again. Obviously, there were fun things like movie nights and visits. They kept me grounded and motivated me to keep going, motivated me to recovery, and then once I was released, that's when the real work began. Cheers. If you want to see me eat like I did in hospital, be sure to let me know in the comments, because I've been considering doing this, but I might actually soon, if it's something you'd be interested in, that is.